everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays a Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Dude, 22 wins in a row. Nothing could possibly go. Oh, God! It's a disaster. L4HM-P480. You know, you always throw that one over the plate, and you see if the game's going to come back with something hot. Great DPS, even with the bad rate of fire. Speed is fine. Coupon is awesome early on. But we have obvious danger. What's the obvious danger? Honestly, I'm not even worried about getting hit twice. That, I mean, it happens. But it's probably not the most likely way for us to die with this much DPS. I'm more worried about a single champion enemy ruining my life. I'll tell you, Kane's other eye, not really that much of a boon early on here. It's not the, you know, life goes on. Actually, realistically on this run, the boss is like the most dangerous thing. So what am I doing here? Why? You know you're in trouble when you're shooting poops on the first floor. That's not really the way I normally choose to run my sets in Isaac, as Dan would say. So what's the game plan? Well, if we could get to the shop, the coupon gives us real positive elements. Sincerely, without any hint of irony. Coupon could get us a key. It's fine. Pays for itself at least. It could get us a spirit heart. Very useful. It could get us an item. Potentially useless, potentially amazing. Even, okay, you're going to make me do the big room? That's fine. But, you know, with piercing shots, the big room is actually maybe not so bad. Just stay away from the champion. The shop's right here. Champion's dead. The boss fight, assuming we beat the boss, there's a very, very reasonable, realistic chance we get HP. When you're in a situation where things are a little touchy like this, really all you want to do is get out of the danger zone as soon as possible. So let's go check the shop. We'll pop the coupon. It gives us a battery, which is fine because it makes it more likely we'll get something useful afterwards. We get the spirit heart. Probably actually more valuable than any of the other items in here, including the tarot cloth and the compass. That's how, you know, I can just breathe a deep sigh of relief right now. Now, of course, I don't really remember how watch battery works. I always just think of it as like, you know, its charges now and then. Oh, thank you. It's a dream come true, dude. What I was going to say is we could probably use the coupon to try to get more stuff from the shop. But we don't even really have to worry about it all that much. We'll see if we get charges here. Unlikely to get a full charge, but what'll we buy? Oh my god, that's so good, dude. We're actually totally set now. I mean, out of these, we have to buy tarot cloth, which we can't afford. So definitely what we have to buy is compass. My mistake. Anyway, dude, that was a great start to this run. We went, you know, that's an adequate amount of danger. I know we got out of it super quickly, but for real, that's like a legitimate amount of potential distress. So I don't feel like we, you know, got the easy way out or anything like that. We have a great run from a statistical standpoint, minus HP. On that floor, we managed to make our HP work for us, but we were one hit away from disaster multiple times. So I'm not going to apologize for that. Sometimes you just start up on a run and you're like, it's an easy win. This one had the potential for the sword of Damocles hanging over us at all times. You know, I'm willing to take a bet on this one. I hate it. I don't even know, like, is there an item that butter actually works for? Like, I'm trying to think of an item that, like, gives you a benefit upon picking it up. Like a spacebar item, I mean, because, you know, otherwise that describes essentially every item in the game. But is there an item, a spacebar item that actually gives you something for picking it up that would make butter, you know, better than bad? No keys, but again, I'm unconcerned by no keys. Our principal, you know, we might as well here, but our principal value on this floor will be derived from our boss and also our deal with the devil, which will then, assuming the deal with the devil is not trash, well, that was a little trash in and of itself, and we're actually going to hit our shop first, just because our coupon gives us an extra leg up on the competition there, I say. You know what? Let's try this on for size. I don't mind that. I actually don't. It's a key for the next floor. Wow, that was close. Assuming our deal with the devil isn't trash, we'll gain access to the boss trap room. The boss trap room has a pretty good chance to drop a key we could use to get into the shop, or we could just get one right there. That's also fine, and you know, life's good. We got super lucky as well, and you know, I take a pretty balanced approach to Isaac. You know, I've gone through phases of being like, well, the game killed me, but, you know, it's my fault. And I've gone through phases of being like, there's nothing I could do, dude. I feel like I'm in a good place right now where I'm like, you know what? The game has presented me some challenges, but it also gave me a very, very easy setup when it comes to our boss. Like, the Widow is very strong for us because it's so weak. I honestly think we want none of these. My deal with the devil strategy has evolved as I've played more and more Isaac, and, you know, just as time has gone on. Previously, what would I have done? I probably would have taken both of the items, gone to the boss trap room. Who knows what happens on the boss trap room? You know, whatever you get on there, you take, and then you go grab the HP and leave. But what do you end up with at the end of that situation? Basically nothing. You know, you have the shovel, okay, big whoop. And you've got Whore of Babylon, but it won't even be activated because you'll have 1 HP. Or you let Whore of Babylon persist, but as a result, you end up with only 2 HP. You know, where would you rather be in that equilibrium? To be honest with you, I don't have a great answer for you. I would like to grab this spirit heart, though. Worth it. We got half a spirit heart out of it. Life goes on. Alrighty. So I'm hoping that the coupon... Actually, you know what? With the bomb, let's hedge our bets here a little bit. I really would like to get Nun's Habit. It just opens up other avenues of... It allows us to use the coupon more often. Full stop. So if we can get Nun's Habit, I'd be a pretty happy man. Just for our long-term prospects. But I think this is a more, you know, mature way to handle the run, if I'm being honest. So I think we should buy Nun's Habit. And then I think we should not use the coupon, believe it or not, because the remaining items in there aren't really worth that much right now. We leave instead, and I'll tell you, oh, I hate it. It's okay. Dude, I never realized how useful that range upgrade would be for us. We'll come in here, see what we got, but we're going to Hermit card out, which sucks unless this is a 2 of something that we can actually take advantage of. Oh, it's a Joker. That's actually fine as well. So, what else we got? Death. Not worth anything. So, Joker me. Oh, dude. Both very valuable. Definitely makes Whore of Babylon seem a little bit more interesting now, but we'll definitely take both. Come back. Grab the Hermit. Hermit card out. Use the coupon. Grab a Spirit Heart. Grab this. Grab the fanny pack. Oh, it's popping, dude. Alrighty. I mean, it's not really popping that much, but... I'm sorry, by the way. We're talking a lot of Isaac. We're talking Isaac because the run started in a very dangerous situation. Now the run is not so dangerous, but, you know, there's a little latent commentary debt, if you will. I'm feeling good. It's a landmark week for media. If you're me, this is like the week of Christmas, you know? Exciting episode of Game of Thrones incoming. Potentially. It seems like everything's hinting towards that for sure. Avengers Endgame. And also F1. There's a, you know, F1 only races every other weekend this time of year. So it's really like a nice confluence of my very, you know, normie media influences. I'm happy. That being said, I'm not going to watch the F1 race because it's on at like, you know, FU o'clock my time. But still, just the fact that I could watch it means the world to me. It's a big week. Which means if you're somebody who doesn't like Marvel or Game of Thrones, it's also a big week for you. Because what you should do is anytime somebody's like, I've been looking forward to this thing, you go, haha, Game of Thrones? I'll have you know, I've never even seen a single episode. What will happen is that Albert Einstein will pop out of the bushes. He'll give you a crisp $100 bill and say, Godzooks, we finally found him, the man with the most patrician taste on the internet. We even have the same favorite anime. I'm mostly being facetious. Hold on, this is a long walk back here. Mostly because as we walk back, we keep moving, like literally one step forward, one step back. That's not a good way to cover distance. Very inefficient. One thing would take this run to greatness right now, and it's in goodness territory. Don't get me wrong. Like, goodness me, this territory is strong. It just needs, like, actually one Tears upgrade that would probably take us to 9 rate of fire. 9 rate of fire, 7 damage, piercing shots. We're good. We're pretty much right on schedule for boss rush, but we haven't been doing boss rush all that often. A lot of the optional stuff in Isaac, I'm like, you know what? If it's optional, then I'm out, brother. For now, at least. Let's take Smelter. 3 cents allows us to get another battery charge, but I really think being able to smelt a trinket and then rolling with the coupon and maybe being able to smelt one more trinket. Wait a minute, is that worth more than anything else we could get there? Now that I think about it, I think that it doesn't matter, but also I'm wrong. Oh no, never mind, dude. Okay, I don't know if it's worth 15 cents, but, you know, to be able to hold Bloody Prince's crown and also get the occasional boost, sure, it's worth something at least. Verp, that gives us another range up pill, which is actually not useless, I promise. And we don't want to deal with the devil here. Anyway, it was a good weekend. I always forget. Easter is one of those holidays where, like, I never know if the Monday is a holiday because I don't know if the U.S. does Easter Monday is a thing. Canada apparently does, but I've forgotten because I've been making my own hours for so long that, like, you know, holidays are meaningless. I take whatever days off I want. Sometimes even work on Christmas, you know? It's like Thanksgiving in the U.S. is on like a Thursday. In Canada, you get the Monday off. It's a different Thanksgiving, but you get the idea. It's a whole thing, you know? I never remember which day you actually get off for Easter, but I hope you had a good holiday weekend. I hope if you had to work, you got paid through the nose. Stick it to the man. While the boss is at home enjoying dinner with his wife and kids, you should be getting paid time and a half. Bare minimum. Yo, I will take a forget-me-now. My intention is actually, I know that, you know, we were getting good stuff out of the coupon. Yeah, just re-roll a dime. Who cares? But my intention here was actually, or is actually, I should say, to use forget-me-now to maybe get out a boss rush and pick up a second boss rush, but we'll have to go very, very quickly to make that happen. Anyway, we had a pretty low-key weekend, you know. I can't remember if I mentioned it already, but like a little bit of family stuff kept us busy, but apart from that, just hanging out. The only reason I actually realized it was a long weekend is Kate and I went to the gym today, and it was a rainy day. And rainy days always make the gym busier to begin with because people that normally I think would like run or bike outside are inside. And then beyond that, I was like, dude, this is like 3 times busier than the average Monday at the gym. I realized, oh, everybody's got the day off work today, of course. So what I'm trying to say is it's really selfish of you guys. You know, if you normally work Monday to Friday, when you get Monday off, don't come to the gym, okay? Because the people like us that could work out at any time, you know, I would prefer to work out during the time that you would prefer to work out. So if you could just vacate the premises, that'd be ideal. Oh, but NL, because it's a long weekend, this is one of the few times I have to work out. Wouldn't, you know, as someone who makes your own hours, why don't you just work out later to avoid inconveniencing us? Well, you know what, brother? I never thought about it that way, but that's actually a fairly well-reasoned approach. That's a good point. Can't really complain about that, to be honest. You know, I think everybody's guilty to some extent of seeing things their own way and not taking other people's opinions into account. And in this case, you got me. You got me good. I was being very selfish. Yo, lump of coal. It's what we're looking for. We will take the bone hearts and, you know, maybe not incredible, but it's fine. Oh, it's an XL floor. We're definitely going to have time to get to boss rush. We should go to both item rooms for sure. Another good weekend of video games as well. A lot of MLB The Show. And dude, I got to tell you, I know I say this every week, but another great extended Sekiro session in the books. I'm loving that game. I know that everybody else has already beaten it. I don't understand, like, you know, it's not inside baseball. I just, I run my stream differently than a lot of streamers, I guess. Because, you know, most people who stream full-time, their YouTube presence, and this is not a knock, I want that to be clear. I understand why people have largely emigrated en masse away from YouTube as a platform that's definitely not as gaming creator focused as it was, you know, 3 or 4 years ago. But most of them just have a YouTube presence where, you know, somebody clips their stream with highlights and they put it on their YouTube channel. And it makes good digestible content. But, you know, I don't stream as much as full-time streamers because I'm also making a lot of YouTube videos simultaneously. It means that on Twitch, you know, whereas a lot of full-time streamers stream, you know, let's say like 35 to 45 hours a week, maybe on average, sometimes more. We'll take Metal Plate. I got a little less time, and a lot of that time is variety streaming, which is, you know, it means I don't have the same kind of time to be like, hey, it's a 12-hour stream today. We're just going to play through a third of Sekiro, right? So I understand why other streamers have, you know, beaten the game almost a month ago at this point. But I honestly, I've enjoyed working through it bit by bit. I actually, if anything, I don't want to say I feel lucky because that sounds, it reeks of like smug superiority, but like, I do feel, you know, it's not the largest audience that watches Sekiro. If you haven't been watching, I recommend you do so, by the way, because it's like, I'm having a great time playing it. And I think even on a passive experience, that game is very enjoyable to watch. But, you know, I respect that I have an audience that is cool with watching me, like, slow drip that content out there instead of just mainlining it. I always see other streamers on Twitter, the ones I follow at least, they like, always complaining, I don't know what to play. I don't know what to play. I'm not trying to backseat your real life. But one of the ways that you could avoid having that problem, in my experience, on such a regular basis, is when there's a new release you're interested in, not playing the whole game through within 72 hours of its existence. And still, sometimes I go, what am I going to play? But like, you know, I see some streamers, they'll be like, you know, there's nothing coming out. And I'm like, dude, a great 40-hour game came out literally 6 days ago. You just played it all the way through on your stream already because, you know, you played it too much. Now you got to go back to playing League of Legends for another 3 months until something equally good comes out. Not that they're complaining about playing more League, I guess, but anyway, I'm just saying. I'm not telling you how to run your life. At the end of the day, because of the way that I do content, I really should have blown that up instead. I definitely end up like playing less games through annually than most full-time streamers. That being said, I'm also like the only idiot on the planet. Well, it's me and like 2 other YouTubers. Only idiot on the planet that has like 1,400 episodes of the same friggin' game. And I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. But anyway, thank you for continuing to watch the episodes of Sekiro specifically, but of everything, so that I can keep the slow drip coming. It's good for my mental health, honestly, instead of blasting through the whole game in, you know, record time, to just be able to, you know, if I get sick of a boss, that's fine, dude. Come back in 2 days, you know, still be here. I really appreciate that. Sister Vis. Sister Vis, you are a crappy boss. You know that Sister Christian? We're not going to have time to make another boss rush, but we are going to get 2... I can't believe we haven't gotten a Tears upgrade, by the way. We are going to get 2 extra boss items and possibly 2 extra deal with the devil chances. At least 1 extra deal with the devil chance as a result of this. Assuming we can beat Mom in 90 seconds, which I hate to say it, but it's going to be closer than I'd like to admit just because of this 12 rate of fire. Dude, thank you, Ghost Pepper. That's actually... It's such a non-critical item, but when it lands at the right time, it's going to help out a lot. Kind of like Vorpal bullets in Gungeon. That's right. We're cross-pollinating the roguelites. Previously, we get something in Gungeon, we say, oh, that's sort of like this in Isaac. Now we get something in Isaac, we go, that's sort of like this in Gungeon. Y'all, it's huge. Let's go for broke. I want to maximize our power here. These are just not very good, but we'll take it anyway because we paid for it. Necropolis 1 with a 100% deal with the devil chance. You gotta love it. So Maw of the Void is awesome. Still devoid of Tears upgrades, which is hilarious. But life goes on, and to be 100% real with you, we're actually super lucky. Because, like, 2 speed, black powder, depending on the enemies we're fighting, we're in a super nice spot. You know, if the enemies, you know, we have to pay a little bit more attention to avoid them. Yeah, it's tedious a little, but, you know, if we don't, then, or if an enemy, like, is pin, or, you know, the pin analogs in the game that go under the ground, it gives you a great opportunity to put some serious black powder underneath them and, you know, ruin their life when they pop up. Firemind, I think, is more deleterious than good here. I'll crack these open. I regret everything, but... I no longer regret everything, but it could have been better. It's alright. So remember, for deal with the devil purposes, the bone heart counts as a spirit heart. And I'm very intrigued by the fact, is maybe the best way to describe it, that I'm still worried about HP this late into an Isaac run. But we do have to do a little bit of HP-related mathematics here, you know? Arithmetic, maybe, is a better way to describe it. I just walked right into it. Because we don't have unlimited HP yet. We will probably, just thanks to the existence of Maw of the Void. But we're not quite there yet. That helps out a lot, to be honest. Let's take this, and then whatever's in here we'll probably take. I'll tell you what. Fanny Pack's doing us a great service here. I think we stand a pretty good chance to get what needs to be gotten here. I would love to become Guppy on this run. It's not like we need it. Like, the run is strong enough, but... given the choice, I would love to. I actually think, why not? You know, at this point, we don't know if we're going to get 1 or 3 more deals with the devil over the game. We might as well go for it. Thanks to Maw of the Void, we got a real opportunity to improve ourselves. You know what we're never going to improve, though, is our rate of fire. And at this point, I'm not complaining. I'm just acknowledging. Did you hear a whistling there a second ago? I'm pretty sure that came from my mouth. I don't know, man. The human body's weird. Sometimes you say something, you end up whistling. You know, you yawn. Any of you guys, what's the word? It's like gleekers or something like that. When you yawn, sometimes you shoot like a weird jet of saliva like straight out of your mouth. It's embarrassing, for sure. But, you know, I tell you because of 2 things. One being that for the... oh, let's go. I'm not immune to embarrassment, but, you know, this is a safe place for us to admit embarrassing things. Secondly, I got no control over it. And tertiarily, you you know, if I can bring up something embarrassing so that people can talk about it, by all means, you know. Many times in my life, you know, I've been in class in college or something like that, open up my mouth, just a weird jet of moisture shoots out of my mouth. I wish it weren't like it as well, brother, but it's not every time. It's just like now and then. We might as well. I don't love Poke Go. I love Poke, don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorite lunches, to be honest. I don't know. Has Poke caught on in the rest of North America? I mean, that sounds like we invented it in Vancouver, which is not the case. It's originally Hawaiian. Dude, I'm not re-rolling this run. Let me tell you. I know I'm the guy who always re-rolls his runs. But this run, we fought for at every available opportunity. If you're not familiar with Poke, it's basically like... it's hard to describe. It's one of those things that people go like, it's a salad. But it's not really like a salad. It's usually raw fish, traditionally tuna, but now I see it done with salmon, mostly because it's probably more readily available here. That's not necessary. And then, you know, a base typically of like rice, some seaweed involved, perhaps other toppings. It's kind of become almost like not a stir fry, but like a donburi style, like a, you know, mixed rice bowl. It's an ideal lunch. Dude, I can't get enough of raw fish. I know. I'm living that fat cat lifestyle. Like, literally eating raw fish is probably something that fat cats do, but like... Sure, don't get me wrong. I love sushi. We should probably use this. Oh, dude, it's incredible. But if you're talking, like, what's your favorite raw fish style dish? It's still sushi, but I gotta tell you, Poke's close. It's a more comprehensive lunch experience. We got some cool Poke places here. They'll do like funky stuff with the rice. You know, you can get white rice, brown rice, a 50-50 split, or sometimes you'll go in there and they'll be like, hey, our featured rice today is like a pineapple bacon rice. It's an extra 35 cents. You want that? And I go, do you even have to ask? Look at me. Of course I want the pineapple bacon rice. Don't be ridiculous. Yo, this run has hit insanely great levels. If you've never tried it, I encourage you to do so, okay? My dad does not eat raw fish at all. And it, you know, it's not like it's holding him back. He's living his best life, or maybe like close to his best life because he doesn't have Poke in it. But like, it always, you know, I feel bad. Not feel bad, but I sympathize at least with my mom a little bit because my mom's like, hey, you know, she loves sushi. She wants to try new food. And then my dad is one of those guys who, to some extent, he's more open than he used to be for sure. But to some extent, he's like, why would I pay to go to a restaurant where they don't cook the food? I could just eat my own raw food. And you're like, well, Dad, that's an overly reductive way to look at things, okay? You know, they still got to pay property tax and their employees and stuff like that. It's not literally like when you go to a restaurant, you're not paying for somebody to cook your food necessarily. You're paying for the food itself, whether it's cooked or otherwise. I don't want them. Maybe I want it. I don't want Mom's knife, though. But it means that, like, you know, whenever my mom goes to a sushi restaurant, she either has to go by herself or with friends, or she has to go to a sushi restaurant that also has, like, cooked foods. And that, you know, is not putting her out too much, to be honest. You can still get some good stuff in situations like that, but it means, you know, I think you're missing out on the creme de la creme. If every time you go to a sushi restaurant, there's also got to be some chicken teriyaki involved, I don't know. Maybe I'm just spitballing at this point, dude. I got NLSS dockets floating around in my head. You know what we should do? We should do Tenacious D docket. Play the first thing that came to your head. Just so happened to be the best game in the world. We're Guppy, by the way. That's why you don't reroll. Although our reroll could have made us guppy as well. I refuse. I refuse to take anything else. We probably should go back and pick up our demon hearts, but demon hearts are emblematic of cowardice. It's not the way I choose to live my life. Anyway. Some of my favorite restaurants are restaurants that either serve raw food, and I'm not a raw food guy that's like, oh, you're sick? Well, just eat some orange peels. But I just, I like sushi, I like sashimi, I like poke. And then, restaurants where you have to cook your own food. I love going out for, Korean barbecue, for example. Or Japanese barbecue, a.k.a. just in case Corey's watching, because I know he's a stickler for the traditional pronunciation. I'll go out for some yakiniku or something like that. I love cooking my own food at a restaurant. I don't know. Are there people out there that think that are, or is it just like it's a rhetorical device where they're like, when they go to a restaurant, they do an audit, they're like, okay, 75% of the price of the bill is literally the chef putting the burger on the grill and then flipping it over once. I don't really think of it like that because I don't know, sane. That's a little bit of a character judgment on my part, but. Now, there's some things, like you go out for like a really fancy meal, of course, you're paying for the chef having done, 25 years of apprenticeship under Marco Pierre White at, French Laundry or something like that. But, when you're going out to I don't want, if like a Korean barbecue place wouldn't work if they cooked the food for you. In my opinion, at least. Because they bring out the meat and it's so thinly sliced that it would, some of the pieces would be cold by the time you ate them. You got to get that stuff when it's fresh off the grill. I'm just saying, expand your horizons, sweetheart. Good run. 28 minutes despite doing 100 floors. 23 wins in a row. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. See ya!